Well, this is my first time making a video. I just figured it was about time with all the deceitful content that's out there that's colored by people's prejudices, ignorance, misinformation, people being bamboozled and hoodwinked by all forms of media at this point. I just want to see people free. And I just want to share what I know with people so that mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, people can be set free from all of this darkness that the bankers and Satanists, pedophiles, military warmongers, secret societies, so that these people can no longer enslave humanity. And we can build a better world where somebody's value is not determined by the amount of toys that they have, not determined by your credit score or your skin color or your gender. I just want to see people free. And they are such a small part of the population that I can't understand how people can't figure out that all you have to do is just step away from the machine. Quit being their hands and their feet, and everything will come to a grinding halt immediately. Immediately. All they do are implement laws and give orders. They don't do anything else. You and I are the ones that build the machine. We're the ones that build the bombs and the guns and the bullets. Right? We're the ones that joined their police force to enforce their unjust laws. And those unjust laws are only there to protect the rich from the poor, to protect the rich from the middle class. That's why the police exist. The whole idea of a police force of security to take care of the people is great in theory. But not if those that control that force are wicked and corrupt. The police force does not work for us. If they did, they would truly protect and serve. And they do protect and serve. They just don't protect and serve us. They protect and serve those that are in power, that continue to corrupt this country, and not only this country, the world, spiritually, morally, emotionally, mentally, physically. And humanity cannot just sit on the sidelines anymore and allow somebody else to steal your confidence, to make you believe that they have your best interests in mind, and turn around and create a world that is death to all creation. You know, what did Clint Eastwood say in The Unforgiven? Dying ain't much of a living, boy. Yeah, dying ain't much of a living. When you can't even get real food anymore, when everything you drink is contaminated with mind-altering chemicals and substances to make you a pacifist and to literally make you a great antenna so that you can be manipulated electronically to believe what they want you to believe, to think what they want you to think, to say what they want you to say, and to do what they want you to do. Where's the life and the hope in that? Where's the life and the hope in that? I want to see people have opportunities to fulfill their dreams and not to have to be a slave to some wealthy conglomerate of Satanists, of wicked families that have been lording it over humanity for thousands of years already. Do your research. They're all in the same bloodline. It doesn't matter if their skin color's black or white. Down the line, they're all related, if you would do some research. I don't see how we can continue to just sit by and allow them to destroy everything that sustains us. I mean, people say they love their children. People say they love their grandchildren. But are we doing the things that we need to do to give them a future? You know, in the Bible, Jesus Christ says that the greatest thing a man can do is to lay down his life for his brother. So maybe some of us need to lay down our lives. Maybe some of us are going to have to do things that are painful for us to do. Painful self-sacrifice. So that things can change for the future of humanity, because they don't even see a future with us in it. They see a future of artificial intelligence, a future of robots, because robots don't talk back. Robots don't rise up. Robots don't have a heart or a conscience to be able to differentiate between wrong and right. They just do what their creators have created them to do and programmed them to do. Now, robots and all this artificial intelligence can appear to be more intelligent than we are, but that's a lie. Because we have a direct connection to the creator of all creation. We are the offspring of the Creator. And everything that we need in order to overcome all of this darkness is already within us. The power of the Holy Spirit in us. The power of God in us. Christ in you, the hope of glory. We're created in the image of God, for the glory of God, with the power of God, and the love of God, the intelligence of God, the wisdom of God. The last thing we need are people who are so immorally and emotionally and spiritually bankrupt telling us what to do and how to live. All we have to do is tap into the essence of the divine creator within us. And I've thought long and hard about what the meaning of life is. And I've given it a lot of thought. And the only thing that made any sense to me, because life does not make any sense, where you're born doesn't make any sense. You don't get to choose what gender you're born as. You don't get to choose what race you're born in. What race you're born as. You don't get to choose what country you're born in. What family you're born into. You're just brought into this world. And I've read the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, and the whole woe is me and life has no meaning and existentialism and what is it all about, and are we just here to suffer? Are we just here to be somebody else's slave? Are we just tokens in one big cosmic game? But I was looking for what gave life meaning and value and purpose. What is it that makes life worth living? Worth even being here, going through all of this. All of this hardship. And the only really good answer that I could come up with is that we're here basically to make each other's lives better and make each other's lives easier in love and service to one another. Because the better off you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, when I come into contact in a relationship with you, then that's what I'm going to experience a greater quality of living and relationship with you. And so if I'm mature as well and living on at a greater degree of emotional, spiritual, and mental maturity in love, then you're going to have a greater experience when you come into contact and in relationship with me. And we all have gifts and resources that we can share with one another to make each other's lives better and easier. The goal of life should not be to just amass as many materialistic resources as we possibly can and turn up our nose at our fellow man because, they don't have the new latest and greatest gadget. You're not going to be thinking about those things on your deathbed. You're not going to be thinking about those things when the economy crashes or, your mother or your father passes away, or we're minoring in the majors and majoring in the minors. And we need to get back to relationship. We need to cut out all the distractions in life that we have, and we need to get back to having real, intimate relationships with one another. And if you've noticed, social media does the exact opposite. Social media creates divisive relationships. Social media tears people apart. Social media creates unfaithfulness between committed partners in life. And social media posts a lot of things that sound right, and there's a hint of truth to them, but a white lie is a white lie. A half-truth is a whole lie. I mean, most of the cheating that goes on in relationships nowadays begins on social media. So how is social media good for us? Good for our families. Good for our friendships. Good for marriages. I just want to know if there are like-minded people out there that want to see a real change and are willing to do things to make a real change. And can look through everything that's going on right now. They're trying to separate us on every level, in every way. Because a house divided against itself cannot stand. They're trying to create a race war. They've already created a class war. And that's been going on for a long time. They've created drug wars. All these things to separate us. We are not different. We all need the same things to survive. We all need the same basic necessities to survive as human beings. And we all need love and respect and kindness and equality as human beings to survive mentally and spiritually and emotionally. So we need to unplug from all the social media and all the media and unplug from all of it and learn to think for ourselves again. Learn to think for yourself again. Forget about everything you've ever learned, everything you've ever known, and assess it for yourself. And make it real for yourself if it is real, if it is true. You know, I came to a point in my life where I decided that I was going to become a truth seeker. And I wanted to know the truth about everything, no matter whether or not every single thing I ever believed in ended up becoming a lie. Even if my entire world was turned upside down, I wanted to know the truth about everything. Because it's the truth that sets you free. It truly is the truth that sets you free. But knowing and understanding the truth is it's difficult to live with. When most people around you are still living in ignorance and darkness. You're swimming upstream. You're not going to be popular. You're not going to be well liked. People don't want you to bring reality into an entire lifetime built on illusions. They don't want those sandcastles made of sand to come crumbling down. So the best thing that we can do is to pray for one another, to earnestly pray for one another's spiritual awakening. So the scales will be removed from our eyes so that we will have a tender heart that's humble, so that we can be teachable, so that we can learn, so that we can grow, so that we can change. We have to reach for that higher power. There's nothing else that we can do at this point. But what we need to understand is that's a greater power than any of the powers of darkness, than any of the powers of technology, than any gun or bomb. Spiritual power is greater. Really do some research on the supernatural power that cultures used to possess. The ability to shapeshift, the ability to disappear, the ability to manipulate the weather, the ability to manipulate the sun. The ability to travel astrally. The ability to not be touched physically. Be harmed physically. They have us on cruise control. So caught up and distracted with technology. Our brains being constantly bombarded by their technology, trying to drop us and pull us down to a certain base wavelength, because humanity is easier to control on that base reptilian level. I want you to know that I'm praying for all humanity, for the freedom of all humanity, and willing to do whatever it takes to help humanity get free. And willing to do the things that I need to do in order to see my family and the human family continue to live and have some kind of a future in this world. And we have to come together. We have to come together for a greater purpose. And we have to know who the real enemy is. It's not one another here on the street. The people trying to poison us and destroy us and control us mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically. And the power behind them. The darkness, Satan, devil, whatever you want to call it. That's the enemy. And you fight that enemy on their territory and on their wavelength, which is spiritual. First and foremost, spiritual. And you can't do it except growing greater in truth and growing greater in love. That's where the power's at. Power to overcome all darkness and all hatred. The greater you grow in love, the greater you grow in your knowledge of the truth, the greater your spiritual power. And if we can all do that collectively, we will overcome every evil plan, purpose, and mission and assignment that they have to destroy humanity and to destroy creation. So I just want to say, be blessed today. I hope that you have a prosperous day. I hope that you enjoy life in spite of everything that's going on. I hope that you learn something new today. I hope that you become a better person. And I pray that you take care of each other out there. And that we would all pray for each other and stand in the gap for each other when we need to. God willing, we'll see you again.